You're tuned in to WFGM Radio 835, the premier source of news, music, and programming on the inner planets. I'm Matt Dahan, your narrator. Today's story: what is a pulp musical? To understand, we must go back to Earth's early 20th century, a time that saw a dramatic rise in the production of fantastic short fiction. An alternative to the daily news or longer novels, bite-sized stories involving sci-fi, horror, mystery, and adventure took over the literary world. They were called pulps, a reference to the cheap paper that they were printed on. Inexpensive and escapist, the pulp genres captivated generations, becoming a melting pot of unbridled creativity in the process. Furthermore, these traits are what made pulp stories fluidly translate into radio waves, where the tales were easily accessible to a large audience and imagination could act for the remaining senses. Unlike most traditional novelists, pulp writers would create many short stories or novellas a year, churning out content at light speed. Oftentimes, their work would follow continuing adventures of their larger-than-life protagonists, jumping from epic situation to epic situation in a world of their creation. Terms like escapist, imagination, and unbridled creativity can also describe another fantastic genre: musicals. Both pulps and musicals remove their audience from the world, take them on an adventure, and invite them to get lost in the spectacle. After considering this interesting correlation, it's no wonder that many science fiction pulps were dubbed space operas. This was ultimately how pulp musicals came to be. With forms so uniquely similar, it made sense to blur the line between them until it vanished. This continuing series, containing stories both original and adapted, will have our protagonists travel between all of the aforementioned genres. They are full musicals, written with the energy of a pulp fiction, each taking only 2 months to write in its entirety. They follow in the footsteps of the radio dramas that came before them, existing purely of audio waves and brainwaves. Further details regarding the presentation and air dates of these stories will be made known as Episode 1 approaches in the fall of Earth Year 2021. Pulp musicals will use every tool that the two forms that make up its namesake provides. It will get wild, it will get weird. It will ricochet between the comforts of the familiar to the precipice of the unknown. What's past is prologue, listeners. The sky's the limit, and the stars await. This has been Matt Dahan with the WFGM Radio 835 News Update, reminding you not to be scared of the dark. That's where the dreaming starts.